There's been unprecedented change in the last year, and your business needs have likely evolved as well. Now, more than ever, you need a live video solution that's easy to navigate and flexible to adjust to your rapidly changing requirements. That's why we're introducing LiveU 360. LiveU 360 is a unique, all-inclusive live video subscription service created and tailored for you. Whether you're producing news, sports, or other live events, there's a LiveU 360 subscription to fit your needs and your budget. Integrating all the necessary hardware, software, cloud, and unlimited data services. All you have to do is supply a camera. And as your business grows, LiveU 360 can grow with you. Upgrade at any time and enable value-added services such as 4K and multi-camera production on demand. Each LiveU 360 subscription comes with our new LiveU Platinum service that includes real-time event monitoring, insurance, technology upgrade protection, and a no-penalty exit after 90 days, so you can decide if it's the right fit for you before making a long-term commitment. LiveU 360 gives you a best-in-class and future-proof solution for your live video coverage. LiveU 360. We've got you covered.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to our webinar introducing LiveU 360. This is a very, very exciting announcement from LiveU, and we are very, very proud as Varto Technologies to be able to offer this to our clients. And so let's jump right into it. I want to talk about a little bit about Varto Technologies, who we are, what we do, and we will jump into LiveU and their offerings. We'll introduce George from LiveU, and as well we'll lead into some Q&A at the end of the webinar. So let's go ahead. Let's see. Let me ask you to just advance here, George, to the next slide for me, please. All right, so a little bit about us. My name is Yervan Kashishian with Varto Technologies. I'm a sales engineer here. And a little bit about us. We're based in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Been in business since 1984. We design and integrate reliable, cost-effective audio, video, digital media, and live broadcast solutions. So we specialize in helping our clients envision and build workflows that are going to fit their goals, your needs, your the ever-evolving needs of a broadcast facility or someone who is just producing live video. And we focus on cost-effective solutions. So we pride ourselves in having access to the best products from the best manufacturers, and we are able to extend high-level support and training for all the products that we offer. So studio design integration, training, solution support, these are key factors in what makes us who we are and how we can best enable our clients to be successful with the solutions that we offer them. So go ahead, George. Thank you. So a little bit about our clients. We cover all verticals. We have broadcast clients like Viacom, CBS, MTV, NBC, Fox, which have their own types of needs, to radio broadcasters like Odyssey, formerly known as Entercom, and Hot 97, as well as we've built fly packs and studios for a variety of large and small universities. Some of them are shown here, like Seton Hall, Princeton University, Fordham University. We have many clients that are in the educational space, from, again, universities all the way up and down, from high schools and elementary schools. So everywhere in between, we have different scale of solutions that we're able to offer for all the clients that we have. And of course, houses of worship, like the Riverside Church in New York City, as well as many, many large and small houses of worship. And of course, we have governmental institutions like the United States Army. Of course, we have local broadcasters, PEG stations, public access, and up and down the line. Go ahead, George. Next slide for me, please. So a little bit about the vendors that we carry. So we're a integrator. We build solutions. We are able to put together products from many manufacturers to deploy a comprehensive workflow to our end users. And these are some of our great vendors led by LiveU, who we are happy to have with us here today. And you can see LiveU, NewTek, Panasonic, Sony, JVC, Brainstorm. So from cameras to lighting to switchers to production transmission equipment and so on. So from A to Z, we're able to put these solutions together and be able to, again, train our customers on the full workflow from a Varto Technologies position, and not necessarily only from the manufacturer. So we're able to offer additional training and support on top of manufacturer training and support. This is just a handful of the manufacturers that we carry. And LiveU, why LiveU? Why do we love LiveU and their products? We're very proud to be a top reseller in North America for LiveU. You know, LiveU has a very unique product portfolio. There's really nothing like what LiveU can offer as a full solution, and especially what they're going to be able to offer with LiveU 360, which is what we're here to talk about today. So purchasing, leasing, rental options, 24/7 support, and many more reasons that make LiveU one of our absolute favorite partners to work with. And of course, we are trained and certified experts on all the LiveU solutions, and we'll be able to, again, offer hands-on support and training for all your LiveU needs. Go ahead. So where I am right now, I am in our East Rutherford, New Jersey facility. We have a full demo studio and a showroom, which includes products from many of the manufacturers that we carry. We have built a full working control room and studio so that we're able to best demonstrate and convey the feature set and the capabilities of the solutions that we offer. So the key is that this is, you know, if you're able to come in for whether it's in person or a virtual demonstration, you will get a feel for what a full workflow may look like. And again, we have products from many of the manufacturers that we carry here. And we've got just another couple images of our showroom and some different products that we have. So you see another shot of our control room. We have a fly pack that's being shown here as well. You can see the full green screen cyclorama. So we have this facility built out to best demonstrate the products and the solutions that we offer. So again, we're here talking about LiveU 360. I am very proud to introduce our good friend and great partner, George Klippel from LiveU. And George is going to go through a high-level feel of what LiveU is, what they do, and of course, go into detail on the LU 360 solution. We will have Q&A at the end of George's presentation, so feel free to put your questions into the Q&A section at the bottom of the Zoom webinar. And go ahead, George. Welcome.
Yvonne, hey, thank you so much. I do really appreciate it. And as always, a perfect introduction and that to Varto Technologies, one of our top-rated resellers in North America. So my name, as Javant mentioned, is George Klippel, and I am with LiveU, and let's kick it off and talk about LiveU 360. So for some of you who may not know who we are, LiveU is reinventing live. We are the live worldwide leader in IP video technology. And, you know, we're the inventor and patent holder of live video over bonded cellular. We've got something called LRT, which I'm going to talk a little bit about in just a few minutes. We've got 4K encoders, a bunch of different types of encoders and products that we'll explain and kind of give an overview before we dive into the 360. We were the first company to come out with multi-camera production field units that are native 5G, a whole wide range of cloud-based remote production, and of course, the LiveU 360 all-inclusive live video subscription service that we're here and going to really dive into deeply at the end of this session. But, you know, to talk about LiveU, you got to talk a little bit about some statistics first. Over 4,000 end user customers that are have got about 20,000 units globally, producing tons of content, 962 terabytes of monthly live transmissions. That is a lot of content that we produce day in, day out, month in, month out, and we do it with our backpacks and all the technology that we have to offer in our portfolio. Speaking of the product portfolio, it is award-winning, as the slide says. If a slide says it, it means it's true. When you look at LiveU, what you want to do is kind of look at us in these four different kind of categories. Oops, I went ahead of myself there. We have the first category here is called the portable units. This is where all of our encoders sit, the LU800 and the 600, the 300. The encoders are what takes your video and converts all the video into IP packets. The next thing is we have these contribution encoders. These are not portable units, but ones that would sit in a rack typically, or you might find in an insert studio. And then we have this section called decoders here, which are the servers that take the signals from the encoders or the contribution encoders, decode those video back into SDI or even NDI natively if you want, into a TriCaster environment, etc. We have HD models, we have cloud models, we have even 4K versions of these decoders. And then finally, on the far right are these IP solutions, things like Matrix, Video Return, Tally-Lite, IP Pipe. We'll talk a little bit about these too as well. We're the only company that offers the breadth and scope of all of these products, from under $1,000 all the way up to over $25,000 and everything in between. So you can kind of get a product that fits your mix, whether you're a house of worship, a corporate client, first responder, somebody in sports. We've got a product that will fit your niche. And at the very top, it says cloud architecture. Oh my gosh, I got to get control of this PowerPoint or it's going to control me. The cloud architecture called LiveU Central is our centralized cloud management platform. It runs on a browser, any browser, Firefox, Chrome, etc. And that means you can control your LiveU environment, your encoders, decoders, setting your delay, your user settings, what have you, from anywhere in the world. So you could have your environment set up in Chicago or New York or New Jersey and be somewhere in California and have to do setting it up or controlling it, configuring it. You can do it from a browser anywhere in the world. And last but not least, the all-new LiveU 360, which we'll talk about shortly. A technical overview for those of you who want to understand the ecosystem a little bit better. You essentially, in a LiveU world, it's all about bonded cellular, right? Bonding cellular modems and connections with Wi-Fi and Ethernet. That's what you do. You connect it to a camera, one of our encoders, or you output of a switcher. You bond all of these connections together and give you a big fat pipe to the internet. So we take your video, we convert it into IP packets, bond your connections together, send it over the internet back to a decoder, which converts it back into SDI or NDI to send it out to a CDN or OVP, send it out to a switcher, or even into Matrix. And that's really it. That's how it kind of works. The secret sauce behind LiveU is what we call LRT, or LiveU Reliable Transport. It's very technical. It can get pretty deep. There's a lot of words on this page. I'm not going to read everything about it, but the four key things that it does is it offers us packet ordering, acknowledge and resend, dynamic forward error correction, adaptive bitrate encoding. And that's really what makes all of our products tick. and it's inside every one of our products. And again, it's called LRT. If you're into the super tech and spec, go to our website, download the white paper. It's a very interesting read. But this next slide is one of my favorites because it really shows you in a graphical sense how it works. So when you look at this here, the top line is the available network bandwidth. And what that means is it's what's available by the carriers, right? What's coming off the cell towers. The actual video bit rate's the next line, and the audio bit rate is at the bottom. You'll see the audio bit rate is just a solid synced line. In a LiveU environment, audio is always in sync with the video, and it's always steady, regardless of the network available bandwidth. So when you see this first network fluctuation, that circle there, the video bandwidth, the available network bandwidth goes down, that's kind of like going from 4 bars down to 2 bars. You'll notice the actual video bit rate right below it kind of dips a little bit as well, right? And you'll see at the next circle, the encoder, the video bit rate goes up. That's because the available network bandwidth recovered. So just like a wave on the ocean, our LRT goes up and down and fluctuates with the available network bandwidth. That's what LRT does. So when you see this huge drop in bandwidth, that means the network is down to 1 bar maybe. Our video bit rate goes down with it. We never go to black. We don't drop the stream out. The audio stays in sync and we continue to stream. That's what LRT is all about. It happens in this place we call adaptive buffer. And that's as technical as I'm going to get in this call, I promise you. But LRT is really cool and it's our secret sauce. Learn all about it in that white paper if you're into it. So a little bit about our portable encoders. If you look at them, we've got the 300, the LU300, the LU600, the LU800. Those are our mainstay, our core product encoders. And they vary by the number of modems and the size. Like the LU300 weighs 1.5 pounds. It's got 2 internal, 2 external and cellular modems. The 600 has 6 modems built into it. The 800, our brand new unit, the latest one that we have on the market, has 6 modems as well. Has 5G built in, capable 4K. All these are HEVC units, and that's our core set of products. Down in the lower left corner, we have this unit called the LiveU Solo, perfect for anybody who wants to go to like CDN, straight to Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, you name it. One touch streaming destination, plug and play, easiest thing to use in the market. Starts at $995. Add a couple of modems to this, which we supply 2, 3 modems, unlimited data plan, and you're set to go to that to those type of connections. We also have something called a LiveU extender that can extend the range of these 3, 6, and 800 units, which is an amazing product as well in its own right. Really helps if you're producing sports and venues where you've got 25, 30, 50,000 people, or in those scenarios where you're out in the boonies where maybe only 1 tower is available and you need that extra oomph because it adds additional modems with high capacity gain. So that's a little bit about that. And we did talk about our video receivers and decoders, right? We have one called the LU2000. This is a unit that can take in multiple feeds from multiple encoders, 1 RU rack-mounted system that outputs either single channel, dual channel, or quad channel out, right? It can send SDI, it can send RTMP out. It can also send natively NDI. So all the folks out there that are TriCaster lovers, this is the box for you. It's amazing. We also have a 4K version of this. So if you're doing 4K work or want to work in a 4K environment, like using that LU800 model again, and you want to support a 4K receiver, that's a box for you as well. It also does double duty. It'll support 1080 and HD. So you can get this device and support both feeds and use it for 4K work, use it for 1080 as well. And then LiveU Central, that's what's that command and control module I mentioned, our web-based platform that controls everything around the LiveU environment. It lets you select different modes. It can select store and forward. It lets you, basically define your output channels, set the delay on the units. You can go sub-second delay all the way down to 0.6 seconds of delay on our units, up to 20 seconds. You can manage users and groups and all of this. And again, accessible from any browser, supported computer or tablet from anywhere around the world. Some of the features, as I mentioned, control, video, multi-view, it has file management and more. So the LU800, this is one of the newest units. I wanted to point this one out real quick. We're almost to the 360. I promise we're going to get there, but this is really one of the coolest units ever made on the market, and it's exclusive to LiveU. Nobody else can do this. The biggest thing and coolest thing about this unit, aside that it's from LiveU, is that it's the only unit on the market that can take in multiple inputs into one device. So the LU300 and the 600 and all products before it from LiveU could only take a single input from a camera or a switcher, right? So 1-to-1. If you wanted to do a 4-camera shoot, for example, you'd have to, in the past, buy 4 LU300s or 4 LU600s. Today, the LU800 can take a single input, dual input, 3 input, 4 inputs. So it's got 4 input capability. So multi-camera capability, great for Remy productions, sports productions. So you take one box out, run 4 cameras into it, and you can send 4 independent feeds back to your control room and switch them on the fly. Or you can actually switch it on the box itself and send 1 switched feed back to your control room at one time. Up to 16 channels of audio on this box, 5G capable, so you could have 2 or 4 5G modems built into this out of the 6 that are available. You can support higher end productions up to 70 megabits per second, 4K P60, 10-bit HDR. It's unparalleled in the industry of what this thing could do. So enough about the LU800. Oh no, not enough about the LU800. There's a couple other features on here. We don't have to cover them all, but 2 Ethernet ports, 2 power ports, 16 channels of audio, as I mentioned. It has video return capability, tally capability, audio connect capability, plus an option for external antenna connections. So instead of using the extender, you can also use external connections, antennas right on the unit if you're in tough RF conditions. One of the other things that is worth mentioning on the LU800 is it comes standard as a pro configuration. So you can use it as a single camera device and use it just like any other LU800, and then get software upgrades to the Pro 2. So you could use it as a single or dual camera, and a software upgrade to Pro 4, which allows you to do it as a dual, single, 2-channel, 3-channel, 4-channel camera, you name it. And we've made it so you could actually use it in a or get these Pro 2 or Pro 4 licenses. They're software license upgrades where you could do it on an annual basis, a monthly basis as a rental, or even a daily basis now. So it's really kind of cool how we've made this product fit the needs of our customer base, what they've been asking for a long time. So that's a little bit about the company, a little bit about the newest product, the 800. We have the 3 and 6 and all of that, but I'm not going to spend any time there. But there are a lot of production solutions that surround this product that also tie into the LiveU 360 that we're coming to. So the production things that you get around this product or can add to this product are things like tally light and video return and audio connect. So let's kind of talk through some of those. So video return, this takes your feed of like video or teleprompter from the control room and sends it back out to your field unit, the LU800, for example, that we just spoke about. So you can essentially get another server, what we call the video return server, so we don't overlap the streaming server and the video return server. We don't put them on the same server to make sure that your stream is always secure. We have video return server separate, sends the teleprompter out to the talent in the field or return video to them. And they can take a HDMI signal right out of the LU800 and send it to a separate monitor for the talent. And essentially it's 800 milliseconds end-to-end delay. So almost no delay at all, very close to no delay. And gives your talent that peace of mind when they're out there in the field, especially with teleprompter doing their scripts and things like that. So that's what video return is all about. The tally light, same thing. It's confidence out there in the field for your talent, right? Letting them know when they're on the air, when they're off the air. All of you have probably seen the YouTube videos like I have where the talent is thinking they're not on the air, doing their hair, brushing their teeth, doing something that they're not supposed to do. They're funny as heck, believe me. But the tally light, you can add them to our units and it tells you when you're on the air. Red light is the unit's transmitting and it's on the air. Green light means it's not transmitting or it's transmitting but not on the air. So they're aware, again, giving them signals and the cues that they're used to in the industry of being on air, not being on the air. Also, Audio Connect. This is a really nice feature. All of our units have always had IFB, but it's been one-way IFB. So you're able to communicate out to the talent or out to your person on camera, but they can't communicate back to you. So Audio Connect allows you to have that two-way comms back and forth between your talent and now your camera operator as well. So we connect into your comms system back in your control room. You've got great two-way comms going back and forth between your talent and or your camera ops. And it's available, again, on all of our different units, the 300, the 600, the 800, etc. And then LU Smart. This is something that people just love to death. It's the phone app that LiveU has. It's available on your Android. It's available on your iPhone. And essentially, this is just another encoder that falls into the LiveU product portfolio, the LiveU mix, if you will. And how it works is it bonds to Wi-Fi. So you can bond to any available Wi-Fi, and it acts as just another encoder, just like an 800 or the 600 or what have you. And it goes into the production environment. So it's a handheld device, and a lot of people will use this, like a lot of education customers in their journalism programs give LU Smart to all their students. And they're able to use this to do field reporting and to do their media hits along with the encoders that they have. And some of the big networks like CBS and Fox or CNN will give these to the reporters. So when they're out in the field, they're just driving to work and they see breaking news, they just point this at the breaking news and they take it to air, and they're first to air with the story, just because they have the LiveU Smart application. And IP Pipe is another new one that we've had out just now, I think maybe close to a year, just about a year, and this has taken off dramatically. We've had a lot of people who wanted the ability to control IP-based cameras such as Bird Dog and PTZ. Now we can do this with what's called LiveU's IP Pipe. You're able to essentially connect a IP-based camera right to a LiveU encoder and control it from your control room using Bird Dog's or PTZ's actual controller. And it's separately from the live transmission, but it's done through the LiveU server over the network. It's an amazing protocol that we've developed, and it is a wonderful way of helping save on costs. And if you have like a static camera that you want to set up for a wide shot, you're allowed to control pan and tilt and zoom and do all of that without having a camera op maybe on that one situation and that one station. And finally, I wanted to just share one thing on AT&T Priority SIMs. Now, we've had this for a while, but it's really important to point out because our units have the ability to add AT&T Priority SIMs to them. And there's three types of SIMs you can get with AT&T. A normal SIM, if you're on a cell phone and you have AT&T service, that's their normal SIM card that comes with it. The step above that is what's called priority SIMs, and that's what we offer our customers now, that are gives you priority access to the bandwidth on that cell tower. And the only level above that is called FirstNet, and that's for first responders. In other words, first responders in any situation get priority over everybody and kick everybody off that network. So let's say you're using a LiveU unit and you go and cover the inauguration, or you cover a big sporting event, and you're using our AT&T Priority SIMs in a crowded, congested area. You're going to have priority over anybody else that's using their cell phones trying to stream that same event, which is really beneficial for you in that type of scenario. So that finally takes me to LiveU 360. And the reason that I wanted to go through all of those other little things is because until LiveU 360, we've always kind of sold our products in a way, oh, you buy or you lease the unit. You buy then and lease the server. Then we make you or had you buy this option, buy that option, buy this thing, buy that thing. It was additive. You add this, add that, add this, add that. Well, with LiveU 360, it's our all-inclusive live video subscription service. And what's that about, right? It's all about selling subscriptions today. And who does that? Aside from LiveU now, right? Well, car dealerships do that. I did not know this until just recently. but I can go to Volvo today and subscribe and get a car. You can also do it with home security systems. So home security systems, you can get a subscription service to this company here, and they'll come out and do the installation. They'll put the cameras in, they'll install the software, they'll do everything. And it's a subscription service. Even sneaker companies like Unbox, right? It's gonna do, you'll get new sneakers every couple months if you want to do this. I'm really trying to make sure my 19-year-old son doesn't know about this one, because if he does, I'm in severe trouble here, because he's going to be subscribing to a sneaker collection. I know it because he hits me up for new sneakers all the time. But subscription services are becoming more and more prevalent throughout the industry, and in particular, in our industry. And that's why we moved to going into this type of subscription model. So when you look at, leasing or subscriptions and the solution that we're offering, you lease a tangible product, right? A house, an office, a car, or a field unit like we have in the past. And you subscribe to services like broadband and Xbox and now cars or sneakers, right? So in the past, we've sold units. And by the way, we're not stopping doing this. We're still going to do this. You're still going to see and have the ability to buy our units, right? So we still sell the field units. We're still going to do that. And we still support them, sells the support, etc. Also leasing, we're still going to do leasing, right? You can lease a LU600 and 800 data, the server, SLA, all of that. But with the subscription service, right, it's all inclusive. It's a flexible business model. We're offering the field units, the connectivity, output channels you need, the software packages, the platinum service contract. That's new, that you'll hear about in a second. But everything is really flexible and offered in a subscription. So here's the offering, right? And again, it's an all-inclusive live video subscription service. It's turnkey. It's a package that combines the hardware, the software, the cloud connectivity, unlimited data. First time ever on our professional products that we offered unlimited data plans, and value-added services offered all at once with this new platinum service plan. So more adaptive and scalable. It's worry-free for you as the customer, because you don't have to focus on, am I going to get overages on my data plan this month? That's what a lot of people worry about with traditional data plans, right? Oh, I might get hit with overages if I pass, my data plan cap. It's best in class and future-proof, because the cutting edge technologies that I just talked about, like the LU800, the 600, the 300, and you're going to also have reliability at the core of our technology, because it's the most robust and reliable solutions that LiveU offers, and it's flexible, no hidden costs. So we're not going to be saying, you got to also buy this, you got to also buy that. It's all included. So when I talk about all included, what do I mean? I mean, it includes the LU800, or it will include an LU600 or an LU300. So you could choose from any of the three core models that we offer. You pick one, whichever one is best for you, or two or three, or what have you. It also includes the unlimited data plan and the connectivity with the SIMs that I mentioned, the AT&T priority SIMs. So you have no worry about connectivity. You also get our global roaming SIMs with those. That's our dual SIMs that are included with the units. And you get an output channel. So you get the server, and it's a quad server. So you have the ability to have 4 channels of output for not only backup and redundancy if you're only getting one unit, but if you get multiple units, you have it there for future proofing and all of that. So you're getting the units, the connectivity, the output channels, also the IP-based connectivity workflow stuff that we talked about, the tools like IP pipe, video return. That's an option for you to get, but Audio Connect, Tally Light, and then last but not least, LiveU Central, the orchestration software that we talked about, that's in there. The new LiveU Platinum Service Platform, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, and new reporting tools. So all of this is part of this subscription service. So if you look at and do a comparison side by side of what a LiveU standard lease is today compared to LiveU 360, you have all these check marks on the right of LiveU 360, and then all these options on the left. So you can see on the 360 side, you get the unit and the server included. All the data is included, unlimited data versus which unit you want to get. Video return is an option, and it's included on LiveU 360, but that actually should say option because you can decide whether or not you want the video return. But data bridge is included. AT&T Priority SIMs, Audio Connect is included. SSO, single sign-on, especially important for people in the corporate world or in education, where you have the ability to have this system connected right into your own Active Directory. We include RMA next business days, LiveU accessory coverage, insurance. This is the first time ever LiveU's offered insurance on your system. So if they're lost, stolen, you drop it somewhere and it breaks, we cover it on insurance. On-site standby unit, platinum dashboard, managed software upgrades, a knock with proactive live event monitoring, all of these things that you see here, on-site consulting services, major event support, and last but not least, an opt-out after 3 months. If you try it and you don't like it, you can opt out and return it. That's crazy. It's like the best thing since sliced bread, right, Yvonne? I mean, you're with me on this? So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's again, never been done in our history of our company's history ever. And it's just an amazing offering. And I wanted to take just a minute on a slide and just show you this new platinum level service, because LiveU's support in the US, we call it gold support. It's always been white glove. I mean, it's been lauded as one of the best in the industry, right? It's 24/7, 365. And it's been around for years and people love it. We do overnight RMAs and all of that already. But with the LiveU 360 plan, we've upped it to a platinum level of support. Again, that we've never had before. So you still get the 24/7 and 365 support, but now we have this proactive live event monitoring. We've developed a NOC, a network operations center, just for our LiveU 360 customers that is actually going to be doing proactive live event monitoring for when you're doing these events or major events that you have, and you want our assistance or help monitoring these events live with you. So we're going to be doing that. We have the insurance coverage that I mentioned, technology refresh program for upgrades for hardware, software activated on demand. We also have a virtual lab for demos and testing that you get to access software and or other releases prior to anyone else to test and to look at and evaluate to see if you like it, what it's like, kind of touch and feel. Give it the smell test before you even install it, or maybe want to add it into your portfolio of the 360 portfolio. We have the extended support for global events. So again, if you're doing these events that are, larger scale or, even small scale, you have the access now that no one else gets to have virtual help or even on-site help through this LiveU 360 program now, and our platinum service level of support that we don't offer anyone else. So it's a wonderful program. And especially when I look at it and I see the things like insurance, again, we've had a lot of people who've had units stolen from them. They show up on eBay and people have lost them. I've been here 5 years now. We had one person have a unit that got ran over and kind of flattened and smushed, but it's covered. It's covered now through this insurance program. Here's a couple of the plans. We have two plans, if you will, for LiveU 360. One is called Essential, the other is called Premium. Essential is really optimized for news and enterprise and corporate coverage. That one, you can get, again, all of the different units, the 300, the 600, the 800 Pro, and it tells you on the side what you get with it, what comes with it, the IP pipe, the data bridge, audio connect, all of those things. Video return, again, is optional with the 600 and 800. And that's optional with both plans. The essential customer is virtually everyone, if you will, that's working outside of what I would say sports or really high-end production. The premium customer, if you're doing sports and you're doing higher end production that requires a higher end bit rate for delivery, that's the premium customer. That's what that program is really targeted for. And it's also, when you look at this premium package, it's also for those customers who are doing a lot of multicam production work, because that's what that package is set for. So when you look at these two different packages, you kind of want to set yourself up and say, am I more, day in, day out doing standard work with, news or corporate work, or am I a house of worship? Am I, doing that type of, general production, or am I high-end sports guy or sports company that's out there that's doing a lot of, crowds and a lot of high action sports, racing, whatever, that type of demand, or have a high demand for higher bit rate type of activity, and then you want to look into to the premium. And again, you can see what is included with both packages on the left and right side there. And I wanted to give you give you an idea of some pricing examples too, just to get you an understanding of what these packages look like. So if you look at this is a comparison again, apples to apples for a standard lease to a 360 subscription. So on the left side is a standard lease. If you leased an LU300, you're just let's say a regular production company that's wanting to lease a 300 today from LiveU. So a standard lease for an LU300 is $725, and a server, a single channel server, is $250. And let's say you did a 50 gig data plan, that's $500 a month. Everything else is optional underneath that. If you wanted to add IP pipe or data bridge, audio connect, all the things we talked about, you have to pay for those separately, and there are different charges for those. I didn't even put those in there under the cost, and there's no insurance. You can't opt out after 3 months, and that for 1 year is $1,475. Comes to $1,475 for your lease. Now, if you do that same comparison for a LiveU LU300 under the LiveU 360 program, for a 1 year commitment, you'll see at the bottom there, it's $1,418. It's cheaper than the single year lease under the standard lease program. Even a 2 year commitment, it's $1,280. So you can do 1, 2, or 3 year commitments on the LiveU 360 program. Plus you get a quad server, you get unlimited data, all of those other options, the IP pipe, the data bridge, audio connect, single sign on, the insurance, opt out, all of that's included. So it's such a clear path of which program would fit better for most people. It's amazing. And then just because I know not everybody's an LU300 customer, there's a lot of folks probably on this call even that are more leaning towards like an LU600 or what have you. Here's the same comparison. You can look at the bottom line numbers again. Just a standard lease of an LU600 for 1 year is $1,750 for an LU600, same type of configuration. And you look at the LiveU 360 on an LU600, 1 year lease is $1,681. A 2 year commitment's $1,519. So really, it breaks down a lot more favorably with the LiveU 360 program than it does for a standard lease. Now, some of you, we completely understand you have to do a standard lease, and some of these options might not be for you or whatever. Then a standard lease is the way to go, or a purchase is the way to go. So it might not be for you, but the LiveU 360 program is really developed for those people who want that type of all-inclusive LiveU subscription, or all-inclusive type of subscription service, that really want unlimited data with no overage worries, production tools that are all included where we're not kind of nitpicking or going, adding this or adding that. All the platinum peace of mind offerings and that platinum service thing that I just mentioned to you during this session, and the 90-day no question asked exit policy. I mean, that's unheard of in this industry. I don't know of any other vendor that offers that's out there today. But really, that's everything that I had planned to talk about today about LiveU 360 and LiveU. I know we kind of talked pretty quickly through that. I think, I hope it wasn't too fast. But I'd like to, send it back over to you for any Q&A that came up during the session, and open it up to anybody on the line that has any questions.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for the presentation, George.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess
always enjoy it.
Maybe I'll pose my own question so that somebody else may have for LiveU 360. So that pricing that you the example that you showed us, that includes a unit and a server. So the first server, right? So could you explain a little bit how it scales if someone had multiple units, or if we have a client that's doing multi-camera events and also wants to do a 360 subscription for those?
Yeah, so basically the when you get your first unit, it comes with a quad server. So you get a unit, one unit with a 4-channel server. So then if you went beyond 4 channels, then you would get another 4-channel server with that. So it's just, and if you go like to a 5th unit, then you get another quad. So that's how it would scale. That's how basically that happens.
So you're the client or whoever subscribed is going to be ready to drop in another unit, if needs change quickly. At least they don't have to go and upgrade their server, try to get another one into the rack in time, and so on. So that does make it very convenient, that the
Correct.
server is included.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility there for growth, especially. Yep, absolutely.
Excellent. So let's look at some of the questions that we have.
Okay.
So first, we had a question from Jim. How many comm channels on the 800? So that's communication channels, I think the question is. So I do know the 800 has 2 TRRS two-way connections. Correct me if I'm wrong, George.
That's correct. Yep. And then with the LiveU 360 subscription, you get 8 channels of audio connect that comes with that.
Right. So with essentially each SDI they have access to, they get 4 audio additional channels per number of connections that they're utilizing. Right. That's how they get.
Right. So if they're using the LU800 and they get the 4 Pro 4 license, they get 16 channels of audio.
That's excellent. So here's an 800, and I'll just show it off quickly. We can see we have 2 1/8-inch connectors, two-way TRRS for communications back and forth while utilizing Audio Connect. And again, utilizing SDI, we're able to get additional audio channels into the unit. All right, let's see our next question. Jim's asking about pricing for return video, IFB two-way with these units. So I think we answered IFB. It is two-way with Audio Connect, which is what's included in the 360 subscription. But pricing for return video, could you mentioned it earlier, could you maybe give us some pricing or explain how video return works, how one unit can go to multiple?
Yeah, so the video return is it's gonna be a separate server, as I mentioned previously, and that video return is gonna go from a different server to multiple units. It can go up to 20 different units, or send out to 20 different units with the Pro license, and the MSRP on that server is $7,200. And you need the Pro license with that, which is $1,000 additional. So that's, again, MSRP pricing, and you would be quoting that yourself, Yvonne, on that to your customers. So that Absolutely. Price would vary
for purchase, but as part of the LU 360, it can tie into the pricing for the monthly.
That's exactly right. So for the LU 360 subscription pricing, for the video return, it'd be an additional $495 for a year-long subscription.
But that covers, like you mentioned, if they have multiple units, you're not adding one of those subscriptions per unit. You just have.
That's right. It's 2 SDI video feeds for up to 20 LiveU field units.
There you go. So perfect. So I hope that answers Jim's question. So there's a question from Steven, incentives for current customers. He has 4 600s, 4 300s, and 2 LU 2000s currently. So does this apply in any way to existing customers, or is there a path for them towards 360?
There is a path. Yeah, absolutely. There is a path for those customers who want to move from their existing sold or leased products. So this program is designed for new customers, but we do have a path for anybody who's on an existing lease or anybody who's an existing sold customer. So what we do, Steve, is work with you one-on-one with Yvonne, and we have a process for that. So there is a pathway for you to move from what you have today into LiveU 360, and we just take that as a one-off type of scenario, if you will.
Perfect. We have a question. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but I'll pronounce his last name, Mr. Grabowski. Is this worldwide? Will operate in Poland and Europe? So this is an international client.
It is in certain areas of the world. I'm not 100% sure if it operates in Poland or not. That's a great answer, a great question. We'll have to get back to you, and I'll pass that question back to you, Yervant, to respond back.
Absolutely. If we just purchased an LU800 this week, can we switch to an 800 subscription service? I think that's maybe a one-off we can address, certainly.
Yeah, I think that could probably be arranged. I think you need to contact the reseller or the salesperson that you purchased it from and have that discussion.
So here's a good question. So how much is an additional 300 unit when you've got a 600 subscription? So go ahead, I'll let you answer.
Yeah, so there's it's the price of, so let's say you have a LU 600 unit subscription and it's the base 1 year price, then you decide you want to get a LU 300 unit. There's you would end up paying the price of the unit, whatever that one price is for the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year that you chose for that additional unit.
Right. So you got the 600, you got a quad server along with it. You drop a 300 for the, its pricing that you're going to
correct
that it carries, and then you can utilize that with your existing workflow.
Exactly right. So there is a price point. There is an add-on pricing that you would get for that. So you can mix and match. You can get an 800 and then add a 300 or 600 and a 300 or vice versa.
Exactly. So that's perfect. So that was Devontae's question.
Okay.
Obviously, the rate is monthly. Yes, it is. It is monthly pricing. Yes. It's on a year, 2 year, or 3 year commitment, like George mentioned earlier. But the pricing is monthly. Absolutely.
Yes, that is correct.
Will it work? This is Steve. Will it work with NDI Telestrator? So that's a new tech product. So NDI Telestrator, that is to draw over or to diagram on top of, let's say, live video, usually replays for sports. I wouldn't say it necessarily applies directly into this workflow. You do have video return, so you can take any video feed and send it back. You do have IP pipe that allows for a pathway, like George mentioned earlier, for camera control. But again, it's not a huge amount of a pipeline. It may not necessarily support NDI through it, but you are able to get some data from a facility like this to a field unit, back and forth for camera control for other utilities. So that's something, that's a workflow that we can certainly work with you to find the best way to implement. Jim asked 7,200 capital, 1K for 360 pricing per year. So that was for video return, Jim. 7,200 to purchase the video return server. If this is outside of a 360 solution, so if you purchase a server today, that would be the price of the unit itself, and there's a $1,000 annual subscription to allow that video return server to output to more than the 2 included units. So you can go up to 20 units. That's what that $1,000 gives you. So you can have 20 LU 600s or 800s in the field and be able to feed the same feed to all of those units. Or actually, the video return feed, correct me if I'm wrong, George, it's got 2 SDI inputs on it, and those 2 inputs can be made available to any of those 20 units.
That's correct. And that's correct. And if it was for the LiveU 360 subscription, for a 1 year term, it's $495 per month.
So you're looking at $495 a month. That's for the hardware and the service included. So that's what you'd be looking at, Jim, for the.
That's correct.
Perfect.
Yep.
We've got one more question here that just came in. Mr. Arnone, can you tell us a little more about storage for our broadcasts? So good, interesting question. I guess maybe
Sure.
store and forward we can mention, George.
So the servers come with 2 terabytes of storage built into them. And typically what people do is they use store and forward, or the units will store the files on our LiveU server, the LU2000 or the 4000, and then what they typically do is they'll have a file that's like a watch folder, and that folder will then transfer the file to a NAS that they have, and network attached storage or something else for editorial, or for using for whatever they want to do with those files afterwards. Our servers are meant for streaming, and that's what they do best. They hold those files, and again, typically people will move them somewhere else for editorial and for doing other things with them.
And to piggyback off of that, the LiveU servers, like I have 2 on the rack here behind me, these have SDI outputs, so obviously they can connect into any traditional workflow to capture that content. So it's SDI. You can do with it whatever you'd like, but they also have the ability to output NDI. So that's Nutex IP codec. That opens up a whole nother world of possibilities of being able to, transport, move that footage or that video, or again, to capture it and record it. So there's a number of tools available, that support that protocol natively, and that'll allow you to write that to disk to, this is a SNS NAS system that's behind me, or to any other NAS system or hard drive. So absolutely, there's definitely a lot of different ways that you can go about recording that. And we've got one more. We'll answer, Dr. Fry. How does my ClearCom plug into 2000? Type of connector for headset on the 600. So good question. Essentially what the units will be able to utilize is a XLR to USB interface. So this could be something like a Focusrite Scarlett or some others. There are devices that will take XLR. I've got one behind the rack here. I'm not going to unplug it, but you'll be able to take one of those and bring in, let's say on a quad server, up to 4, or if you've got Audio Connect, more than that, but you can bring in, say, up to 4 channels of audio that you could then transport back to the units. And on the 600s, it's an 1/8" TRS connector, so you can do with it what you like. You can adapt it. It's all line level, so I think maybe that helps answer your question. You get line level audio into the mix, and then you can move that around, using that workflow. Perfect. So I received my 4600 and my 2000 today. Is there any setup and testing minutes? So Dr. Fry, we can definitely look at what it is that exactly that you did purchase, whether it was a 360 subscription or hardware purchase, and of course LiveU is very good with offering support, answering small or large, easy or difficult questions at any time of day. So it's already 3 o'clock, so we've passed an hour on the webinar, so we don't want to keep everybody on too much longer. But I want to thank you, George, for spending the time with us, for sharing this information, and answering, of course, all the questions that our attendees had today. And again, we look forward to working with you, with LiveU, and being able to offer this, this exciting solution to our clients. So thank you again, George, for being here.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for attending, and really look forward to pulling this product out and making it a huge success. So thank you, Varto, for hosting, and have a great day.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you everybody for being here, and We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day today. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.